Arete, a Bleach fandom community podcast brought to you by Betrayals You Can't See Coming. I'd say you should consider getting glasses to help with that, but I don't know about y'all. There's just something about guys who wear glasses that kind of makes me feel uneasy for some reason. I don't know why. I can't place it. Well, maybe we'll find out what that's about, and maybe we won't. Hey everybody, my name is Del, and today I am joined by Nomi.
Hello! Hi.
Okay, yep, good, great, love that.
Maybe
my expectations are non-existent at this point, honestly.
Maybe we should say hello to the other person first and then come back to me.
Oh yeah, okay, well, we'll fix it in post. I'm kidding, we're not gonna fix that in post. Lethan's also here. Hi, Lethan.
Hello, how are you doing?
Oh, it's Lethan, hi.
Oh, the pendulum just swung forward and back 8,000 times over the space of like 5 seconds, killing the game. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
Turn Back the Pendulum is so much... No, I always know it's short, but it's also so jam-packed. And so the fact that last week we started Turn Back the Pendulum, or the past arc, whatever, and this week we're finishing Turn Back the Pendulum, wild.
When you look at the manga chapters, it's a case of, wait, we've got 2 manga chapters left and 4 episodes left. How are they going to fit this all in? You know, so...
Oh, that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
That does explain the really long recaps at the beginning of the
recaps were very long.
They were
That's
so
true.
long.
Very long.
Speaking of recaps,
Yeah.
should we get into our own?
That was a good one.
Segue.
I try. Take it away.
Alrighty. So, in episode 210, Hiyori dies, the beginning of tragedy. Things start to go downhill very fast as the emergency alarm is heard throughout the Serete, announcing the disappearance of the spiritual pressure of the lieutenant and captains of the 9th Division. Abruptly awoken by this announcement, the captain of the 12th starts to worry that sending Hiyori at the end of the last episode to help investigate might not have been the best idea. Speaking of Hiyori, she's currently en route, questioning her purpose and having an internal monologue, bless her, when she's interrupted by something on the path. Rude, don't they know never to interrupt existential crises? Well, we don't find out who or what this is, though, as the scene shifts to the meetings of the captains. Yamamoto is explaining the situation as it stands and elects to send people to go out to figure it out. Before he can volunteer people to go, Kisuke...
Oh my god. That's exactly what happened.
There's a lot of volunteered in this show. Yeah.
It's what Yamamoto does.
It says
I hate that guy.
Kisuke arrives, asking to be sent in the hopes that he can redeem his guilt for sending Hiyori to a potentially dangerous situation. But his request is denied. Yamamoto then selects Uratabashi Rose of the 3rd, Hiraku Shinji of the 5th, and Aikawa Love of the 7th to go investigate. Urahara then pipes up thinking that someone with medical experience should be on the field. Yamamoto, however, is already 2 steps ahead, revealing 2 characters that we know of, but who have yet to have appeared. Tessai and Hachi, who are the captain and lieutenant of the Kido Corps, which, what we know of these 2, makes so much sense. Hiraku, in a big brave move, states that instead of sending them both, they should send his own lieutenant instead of 2 from the same division, who just happens to be listening on the other side of the window. She agrees and leaves with Shinji, Rose, Love, and Hachi. Back to Hiyori, who is not having a good time with this mysterious figure. However, Shinji, who moves pretty fast for a guy who comes across lazy, blocks a blow and berates Hiyori for not attacking back. How can she says, when the figure is none other than Kensei, looking rather horrified. The others appear and a fight ensues, joined by Lieutenant Mashiro, who is also horrified. Hachi appears just at the right time, using his Kido skills and proving why he is the lieutenant of the Kido Corps, and binds Kensei. However, Kensei breaks free of this Kido. Before we can get too much into that, we shift back to the 12th Division, where Urahara is sneaking out with a rather dashing cloak and is approached by Tessai, who compliments him on his coat, but also reveals something pretty cool, that they used to hang out together at Yoichi's manor. When Kisuke asks if he can go, Tessai says he does not know whether he should go or not, but in the end, Tessai decides to leave with Urahara and the two make their way to where everybody else is.
And that brings us to episode 211, Betrayal, Aizen's Secret Maneuvers. Elsewhere, the Seirete is dark and quiet. Captain Shunsui Kyoraku is taking a late-night stroll, and when he encounters a few sentries making their usual rounds, Kyoraku admits that he's been thinking, and that he's been having trouble sleeping. Lieutenant Eisen passes by. It seems he's also been working late. Kyoraku returns to the 8th Division, where he encounters a young, bespectacled girl clutching a book in her tiny hands, Nanao Issei, waiting for Lieutenant Lisa Yadomaru, who usually reads with Nanao on the 1st of the month. Kyoraku explains that Lisa is elsewhere, but expresses confidence that she'll be back by morning. But back in the Rukongai, things are not looking so good for Lisa and the others. Holified Kensei and Holified Mashiro are wiping the floor with Lisa, Rose, and Love. And it's only through some clutch tag team action that Hachi is able to bind Kensei with a masterful Bakudo number 99. It seems like the tides are starting to turn, until Hiyori starts to spasm and cough in Shinji's arms. She bursts free, slicing Shinji across the torso and up through his shoulder, her face now entirely encased in a brutal-looking hollow mask. Darkness surrounds the group. Kaname Tozen incapacitates each of them, one by one, until only Shinji is left standing. And who should emerge from the forest but Shinji's own lieutenant, none other than Sosuke Aizen. Aizen explains that Shinji played right into his hands. Shinji's distrust in Aizen kept the two of them from truly growing close, and this enabled Aizen to trick Shinji time and time again, using the true power of his Kyoka Suigetsu, which Aizen calls complete hypnosis. He taunts Shinji, basically on repeat, and despite keeping a cool head for a long damn time in the face of such blatant assholery, Shinji rises to the bait, and he himself also begins to holify. Despite this, when Aizen instructs Tozen to finish Shinji off, Shinji steels himself, resolves to hang on to his composure, and puts up a damn good fight, even as he begins to lose control of his body. Just as it looks like the balance might, maybe, begin to tip against Shinji, in swoops Urahara, cloaked and badass as hell. He slices Aizen's lieutenant badge right off of Aizen's arm, making it immediately clear that he and Tessai mean business.
And that brings us into episode 212, Rescue Hiraku, Aizen versus Urahara. Urahara and Tessai square off against Aizen in a heated discussion. Kaname offers to kill them, but appears a little bit like a scared bird in a rattled cage when he gets berated for not listening to an order from Aizen. Tessai cracks open a good old can of Haro number 88 and is dumbfounded when Aizen, a lieutenant, manages to deflect the attack with a Bakudo number 81. With no time to waste, because, Shinji and the team are starting to go stale and mouldy, Tessai transports them all immediately back to base using 2 forbidden Kido spells, one to halt time and the other to teleport them all back to the barracks. There, Urahara reveals the Hogyoku and does his best to reverse the holification, but to no avail. He's only able to semi-stabilise it. He and Tessai are then arrested and put up before Central 46, who've never really done anything right in their puff. Seriously, why the fuck are they there? But mind you, taking a look at today's world leaders, I will retract that statement. Because, of course, Aizen is right, and Central 46 are right, because Kuraku was a key eyewitness to him being in the Serite, when he actually wasn't. And the captains and lieutenants are just to be disposed of as hollows? ? An inch away from being imprisoned, Urahara and Tessai are saved by none other than the loyal BFFFFFF queen, Yoroichi, who manage to transport Shinji and the others to a hidden training facility. There, Urahara explains he will make a masking gigai for them all, and that they need to lay low for a while. The pendulum swings back to current affairs, and we see Shinji talking about how much he owes Urahara and Aizen.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun,
Like,
dun.
Oh my god.
There was a lot of really cool segues and transitions in this. I don't know if
There
you
were,
picked-
I agree.
There was a lot.
Yes.
yeah.
Ooh.
And a lot of reveals as well. Like, if this was the first ever arc you watched and you didn't know about Aizen and Tosin and Gin and everybody else, this could probably be almost like a standalone arc where you could introduce someone.
It totally
and
could.
the probably dramatics. In fact, a lot of people say that they don't like the first arc. Well, if you skipped everything and just watched this really shows you the amazingness that is Bleach and the story that is Bleach, with the twists and the turns and the betrayals. It's more drama than an episode of a soap opera, you know.
It really
Who
is.
says that they don't like the first season? Oh, right, okay, first season. I was going to say the first arc. The first arc's the best arc.
The first arc's really good. I do really like the first arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of the things, I know we're going to get into differences, but I feel like this is a universal thing that is going to be true no matter what the differences between the anime and the manga are. So I just think structurally, I really like this arc being positioned where it is, because I don't know if you both feel this way, but I think it hurts so much more, and hurts so good from a dramatic standpoint when you see all of these characters who, we know they're gonna end up hollified. We know these people all have masks. We know that this is the story of how that happened. But there's just something so heartbreaking about Lisa and Rose, for example, have this little exchange when they're looking at Kensei and they're trying to figure out oh my god, how do we fight Kensei? And they say that mask, that spiritual pressure, it's almost like he's a hollow. What do we do? And then I had that moment watching them say this to each other. I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be you in 10 minutes, but you don't know that. And I think it's so, because it hurts so much, it feels really satisfying. That I feel that in the pit of my stomach every fucking time.
Oh, yeah, you're right, actually. It's hard to watch that from a fan and an audience
It's
perspective
so
when
hard.
we know what's going to happen to them, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things where you keep coming back to it, even though, do either of you know Hades Town? Maybe the musical?
I've heard of it, but it's never one that I've actually sat and listened to the songs of or know the plot of it, despite my love for Greek mythology.
I think you probably would really like it, actually, Nomi. But the way that they talk about why we keep revisiting this story of tragedy, there's a lyric that goes, "It's a sad song, it's an old song, and we're gonna sing it again." And that happens at the beginning of the show and also again at the end of the show. And that's how I feel about Turn Back the Pendulum too, because one of the points made is we keep retelling these tragic stories, these myths that are so heartbreaking. The musical kind of posits that we keep doing this because maybe, despite everything, there's a sense of hope that it might go differently this time, even though we know it can't. The story is the story. It's fixed. But there's still hope somehow, somewhere? I don't know. I feel very similarly returning as often as I do, and I do return often to Turn Back the Pendulum. That makes me feel similar to other tragic stories that I keep revisiting, even though I know they end poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking raw.
Like the Titanic.
It's like that quote, all of this have happened before and it will happen again. Was that Peter Pan, I think? J.M. Barrie? And
maybe.
It's just whole history is doomed to repeat itself, as you say.
Yeah.
So anyway, I love Turn Back the Pendulum. That's my hot take of the day.
Yes.
But yeah, shall I say what is manga anime differences then?
Yes.
So we
Oh,
can
this will
get
be
into the nitty-gritty?
interested. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, this episode is actually equal. We've got Manga Chapters -103, Turn Back the Pendulum 6. But it's just the last 4 pages of that. It kind of continues on from last episode. -102, Turn Back the Pendulum 7. And -101, Turn Back the Pendulum 8. Differences we have are that in the captain's meeting, Yamamoto says that he's sending... he wants to send captains in the manga instead of the captain class in the anime.
Oh, okay.
We've got Kiraku's random reassurance over Kisuke's panic. Like, Kiraku's... you see 2 elements of it. One at the start when he first arrives, and one at the end. The one at the end is in the manga. It's just the one at the start.
Oh, thank God. Because I love that moment. Thank God.
No, it's fine, yeah. Speaking of Hiraku, we've got some minor line differences, and I was locked in a debate over with my sister whether or not this is actually different, and she claims it's because of my love for this character that's making me see a difference, and if it was any other character I might not have noted it, which is probably true, to be fair. But when speaking about Lisa, Kiraku says in the anime, "I'm like a parent who wants his subordinate to gain experience." Whereas in the manga, he says, "I want her to gain experience. She's almost like a daughter to me."
Oh.
So I saw it different, as if to say, the first one is just a metaphor. It could be said about anyone. Whereas the manga is, "she's almost like a daughter to me," is specifically referring to Lisa.
And
that's
their relationship.
how he... and relationship between them.
Yeah. I also think it's weird to talk about a parent having a subordinate. That
Yeah.
language is really funny.
That's strange. Yeah, the daughter, she's almost like a daughter to me feels. I mean, I get like, especially in this Turn Back the Pendulum arc, I feel like we're seeing a lot of that between some of the captains and lieutenants. Not all of them, obviously, but like, we heard about Hiyori and how her relationship with her captain was before, right? And
Yeah.
so I feel like this isn't uncommon in this Turn Back the Pendulum arc. So yeah, anyway, sorry, keep going, Nomi.
We had when Tessai first appears, he and Urahara have a glance in the anime, like indicating their knowledge of each other. You don't see that in the manga. You don't actually get the reveal of their past until they're outside the 12th division. So the anime added in that extra glance to kind of heighten that these guys know each other.
Okay. Not mad at that.
Yeah. And then there's some just additional Kisuke making the decision to leave. Like, Kisuke's sitting there and he's like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go. And fight filler. Because what's an anime episode without fight filler?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a lot of expansions, really.
I have a question then about, like, I don't know if you maybe took note of this or not, right? But Urahara gets sort of guilted for sending Hiyori by, like, not guilty, sorry, that's the wrong word, but, like, he feels guilt for sending Hiyori into this mess, right? And he's like, I want to go, like, send me. And Yoroichi says, you know, that's an insult to her abilities. And then, like, 2 seconds later, Yamamoto turns to Unohana and is like, you're not going because we need you here, we can't risk you. And I'm like, isn't that doubting Unohana's abilities?
Yes, but he also had... Yamamoto was preparing for worst case scenario. Like, I don't know what he thinks is out there, but he wanted someone to be back stay at the 4th, and that's why he was going to send both Tessai and Hachi, because with their Kido ability, they are the Kido courts. Obviously, they're going to have some kind of healing ability. They're going to know the Kaido to heal.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that poor Urahara was getting berated for this very thing that then Yamamoto does 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
I was like, because that would indicate that he doesn't fully believe that Unohana would come back from that situation. So, anyway, it's fine.
I kind of feel like strategically and structurally it does make more sense to keep Unohana back at the 4th, though. Because I imagine the default, maybe, I don't know, maybe not. Well, granted, there wasn't a whole lot of time to, like, discuss specific courses of action, but, like, if you're Love or Shinji or Rose or somebody and you've just, like, gone through this whole entire system, like, the academy, the captaincy process, whatever, like, your default is probably going to be, oh, someone is injured, bring them straight to the 4th, rather than let me seek out the Kido Corps. So having Unohana on standby in a place where that party is going to know to go if they, like, bring injured people back.
Yeah.
It maybe just streamlines things.
Yeah,
and there's probably, like, equipment in the 4th that she wouldn't have access to in the field.
That's true.
I can see it making sense to keep her there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering if maybe there was another reason why Yamamoto didn't want to send her.
I suppose as well, if you think about what someone says, I can't remember who it says, but they're surprised to see Tessai and Hachi there. And
That would be my boy. My son says that, but who pays attention to the one line of dialogue he has in this episode? No one. Who cares? Go on.
This is the first time in the whole of the anime and manga that we're actually seeing significant characters from Kido Corps. We've only ever seen them holding up banners, holding Rukia in place on the bridge. Or opening Senkaimans. They've never had a significant role. And now we're seeing these two characters, which kind of, along with Ukitaki's speech of saying we don't often see them out, they're not kind of that well known. They're not a part of the Gotei 13. They're not like the 2nd Division and Omniscido, who are conjoined, and a lot of people probably know Omniscido a lot more than they know Kido.
Right.
So
I think it's true that you can join the Kido Corps upon graduation, though. I believe
Yeah,
that's an option.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But which actually leads into a debate question I had with you guys.
Okay.
Ooh.
If Kido
Spicy.
did join a squad, so if they were like Omniscido and they were joined with the 2nd, which squad would Kido join? I joked and said
that's
the
a good-
11th.
No.
Would it not make sense? Would it not make sense to combine them with the 4th? No.
I don't know, because that's only one really particular kind of Kido.
See, I'm leaning towards either the 5th or the 13th.
Those
was
were my
thinking
2
of the
thoughts as well.
13th as
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the reasons being, captains of the 5th Division and the 13th Division that we're aware of have historically been Kido masters, not just experts, but masters. Aizen is a master. Ukitake is also a master. Shinji's not, but whatever. He's good at enough other things that it doesn't matter.
He could be a hidden master, he just doesn't prefer to use it, you know. Yeah.
No,
But then you could argue the
his
same for the
official
6th
categorization
as
is as an expert, but sure.
No.
Byakuya's a master.
Yeah.
So I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know. I feel like the
Renji?
6th has- Wait, are you telling me you don't think Renji's a Kido master?
I mean, yeah, of course he is in his heart. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just, yeah. That's the slogan of the Kido Corps. Kido, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, I was at 5th and 13th were my first gut reactions also, actually.
I was thinking 4th and 13th, so let's go with the 13th.
Yeah, either one could make sense. And maybe that would be a thing where it would vary depending on who the captain was. Well, I actually... Because we don't... Whatever. It didn't seem unreasonable to me that Ukitake maybe spent some time in the Kido Corps himself when he was younger, which is part of the reason I think he maybe knows who Tessai and Hachi are. Yeah, as I've, like, charted possibilities of his trajectory through fic and stuff, but... Yeah.
But yeah, that was my fun little question. But I like the idea of the 11th, because the 11th is very against Kido, so a fun crack fic, if anybody listening wants to write a crack fic of where Kido and 11th join, and the chaos that ensues, that would be hilarious.
Oh, God.
That would be so funny. That would be so funny.
But, I mean, speaking of Tessai, how about that Tessai reveal, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was he wearing? I loved what he was wearing, but like it was a surprise.
He's wearing a Count Von Count outfit.
Yes, it's the collar, isn't it? It's the collar that comes right up.
They're just channeling their inner Doctor Stranges. It's fine.
Yeah, very that as well. Wait, that's kind of a cool crossover or AU thing for Tessai specifically. Tessai as Doctor Strange, that's kind of very cool, actually.
I have drawn Hachi as Doctor Strange before.
Oh!
It's somewhere on Discord somewhere.
Oh, I love that.
Like the one part of fan art I've ever done, yeah.
Now we just need to see that at a con. Somebody cosplaying Hachi, cosplaying Doctor Strange.
Oh. Bless.
But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of notes for this one. I will admit, I did really like the moments of like Hiraku and Lisa. Like, that was just very funny.
Yes.
When she just pops up. It's been listening in.
I wrote that down as one of the things that I just wanted to uplift in this episode. That little exchange when Hiraku is standing in the captain's hall, they talk to each other in a way like there aren't very many words exchanged, and it's casual, it's subtle, it's a quick little back and forth, and the two of them are so clearly on the same page the whole entire time. They barely have to say anything to each other, and they know what they mean. And I just think it's a super cool captain-lieutenant relationship. I just really like it. And I also want to give a shout out to, I don't know whether y'all watched the dub or the sub.
Dub for me.
Sub.
Okay,
but
cool. Yeah. I tend to default to the subs, and I've said this before, that I really, really like Kyoraku's Seiyu. I just think this episode, wherein, like, he doesn't have a lot to say, or like these 3 episodes, he doesn't have a lot to say, but the things that he does have to say are important. Like, yes, the quality of his voice that he was naturally blessed with definitely helps him in this case, but I just think he does some masterfully subtle vocal work over the course of these episodes, and my understanding of Kyoraku is so directly informed by, I need to look up this Seiyu's name so that I can give him the proper credit he deserves, but is so informed by these voice acting choices, and it's just like, when it's good, it's so fucking good, and he's different from everybody else, and it's, I'm just fan-souling about this man's work now, but it was great, and I think the fact that he had so little to say, but it still made such an impact over the course of these episodes really highlights how skillfully it was done. So, that's all.
That's a cool call out, actually. I feel like sometimes the voice actors don't always get enough.
Yeah, I know it's Steve Kramer in the dub, and he's great. Akio Otsuka is his name. So, thank you for your services, sir. You are a god among men.
I also found, I don't know if you found this interesting, right, but I feel like in this Turn Back the Pendulum place that we're in, the lieutenants and captains feel like they're closer across the board. Like, they know each other a lot more. Like, just thinking about, like, that first arc where we got introduced to all the captains and lieutenants, like, some of them didn't even know who's captain of what squad and who's lieutenant to whom, and you know what I mean? Whereas here, like, Hiyori couldn't even draw her sword against Kensai because she was like, it's Kensai, I can't attack him. And so, like, it was really, it was very good. I just thought it was really nice to see this. And we saw it a little bit with the last couple episodes as well, and we mentioned it, where they've got, like, these, they feel more like a family. They feel closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see it with how they address each other, especially in the sub. You're, like, listening to how they address each other. And even Hachi, who, you know, is not part of the main 13, but he's still part of the 13, if that makes sense. They call him Hachi, so it's the shortened version of Hachigen. So there's no formality. He calls Shinji Shinji-san. He's still got the honorifics, but it's first name and honorifics, which is a little bit more informal than Hirako-san or Hirako Taicho.
Right. And that's also, Hachi is just a very polite speaker across the board as well. That I think that's true in the dub too, but the way that his sentences come together are, like, he is grammatically correct, he is kind, he is polite. That's just the kind of speaker he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the kind of, I imagine he would even get a bit, you know, bashful or you know, because you know what? If he knows Shinji, I betcha Shinji has said, call me Shinji, and he's been like, I don't know if I can do that, because Shinji tells everyone to just call him Shinji.
Yeah. I mean, my headcanon's always been that they were at school together. Like, they were all at the academy, kind of roughly over around the same years.
Ooh.
There might have been a couple of years differences and all that, but that's where they first made their friendships and first connected, and then they just saw each other grow and survive and thrive in the Seirei.
Oh my god, that is a fan fiction just waiting to be written.
I mean, Hiyori and Shinji must have been like.
Yeah.
They met in the Rukon. It's fine.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'll write tonight. I'll finish my
How many work in
origin
progresses have you
stories.
got?
Shush.
Yeah. I also, this is the only other note that I had about this episode that is even maybe worth mentioning. Wait, no, I have two things. One of them is stupid, so it's gonna be quick. Is the bit when Lisa and Rose are talking about how they're gonna fight Kensei, and they immediately are like, okay, what can we do? Let's cut his tendons, which is also what Byakuya just did in his fight against Zamaru. So I was like, okay, Kubo, do you have a thing about cutting people's tendons right now?
Is this what they teach in the academy?
Oh my god, is it?
It may
probably. Honestly, like an anatomy class where the locations of crucial tendons are highlighted, that would make sense.
Yeah, like if you're ever incapacitated and need to like limit yourself in a way for us to easily heal you back, go for the tendons.
Yeah.
Or, instead of the bloodthirsty route, it's actually just their medical first aid Kaido training, and they're just reverse psychologying it to
maybe
harm instead of heal.
Oh, well, yeah.
They would have all got basic Kaido and first aid training, probably, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just thinking about Renji again, don't mind me. I feel like Renji, doesn't have a bedside manner either. Oh my god.
Can you imagine if everybody had to do, a semester of work experience in the 4th division?
See, that is far too equitable for it to ever happen. It would be, can you imagine Byakuya doing that shit? Here, Byakuya, now you get janitorial duties. What? There's no fucking way, but I love that conceptually. Two interpretations.
He never went to the academy, he's fine.
Very good.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about was just one more piece of fuel to add to the fire of how much I hate the pride and bureaucracy and bullshit that is so prevalent underneath Yamamoto's rule within the Seirei. There is something that Yamamoto says that just sat so poorly with me. It's in the captain's assembly again, and he's talking about why they have to take action now. And what he says is, until yesterday, this was simply an incident in the Rukon district, and now it's become something that we must that we must stake the pride of the Gote to resolve. So what Yamamoto is effectively saying, and I guess an argument could be made for maintaining the balance of souls, and so people have to die and become reishi sometimes, but the idea that when it was just a few Rukon people disappearing, it didn't matter, or just a few lowly soul reapers with ranks that didn't mean much, then it didn't matter. And it's like, oh, well, now our reputation is on the line, so now we're gonna get involved and take action. That's super gross to me. I don't like it one bit. And I guess it could also be because captains and lieutenants they're gonna tip the balance more because their spiritual pressures are bigger, but I don't feel like that's where that's coming from.
It's typical of any big companies with major leaders, right? They don't give a shit about the little people running in the hamster wheels. It's when their reputation's on the line, that's when they care.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm always really harsh on Yamamoto, but it's shit like this that makes me feel that way.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. Nomi, did you have something you wanted to say as well?
Yeah, it was just back to the whole Tessai Kisuke thing. Mm-hmm. Is this the first time we're hearing of them knowing each other prior? Because we know they've been friends. We know
I think so.
Something must have happened for them to run off, live together, and have 2 kids together. Yep. Tessai Urahara is there. So, but is this the first time that we're actually seeing that they have history beyond the now? There's a more origin story of the 3 of them in Yoruichi's manner?
Yes.
Yeah. I think so.
Because we've known that Yoruichi and Kisuke have been long friends for ages, since the rescue arc. But now to hear that Tessai was also, all 3 of them running around cute little kids without a care in the world before, I don't know, brain cells started growing and giving master plans and evil ideas. 3 innocent people just running around the manor, throwing that casually. I thought it was quite a big thing.
Do you think, I don't know, because I don't know when Yoruichi started being able to become a cat, but what if when she was a kid, she was a kitten?
Oh!
So she's just a little black kitten.
I love that.
And she can have little baby Kisuke snuggles.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know.
But that would make sense as to why maybe Kisuke was also like why he was probably interested in her from like a, oh my gosh, like that somebody can do this, like this is nobody else can do that, because he seems the kind of person that's like, if he saw that, he'd be questioning that, he'd be like right up about that, like how, what, how, where, why, who, you know.
Yep.
I think most people would, but Kisuke especially, so I
Well,
like the idea of like that could potentially be how they even met.
That's cute.
Like, poof, and then I'm a kitten. And he's like, oh my god, I need to know how.
Or he rescues a kitten from underneath the barn, takes him out,
that is...
and then wakes
Oh my
up
god,
and
then,
it's not a kitten
exactly,
anymore.
Exactly.
I love that.
That's very sweet. That's it for me for this one, though.
Me too.
Yeah, I've got my fun facts at the end of the chapters.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So we've got, at the end of the chapters, we had 3 chapters. So the first one was, it was just kind of like a picture of a new kind of random character that got thrown in. It's the character who has purple hair and says to Kisuke, oh, Hiyori's just left.
Yeah.
So the end of the chapter just basically confirms that this person is actually the same person that we know of in present time, who's also still part of the 12th. So they stay at the 12th, and they continue on through the 12th, and just change their hairstyle.
Yeah. I think their name is Nico. I think that's who that is.
Ah, I was trying to remember it, and I forgot to look it up,
Yeah, well, I looked it up, and it said Nico Kuna, which is also Mashiro's
Kuna.
surname.
Yes, no, that actually rings a bell, because I remember there being another person with the same surname as Mashiro.
Yeah. So I don't know whether they're found family or something, but I couldn't find anything about that. I didn't look very hard, but I couldn't find anything immediately, so.
Yeah. And then the next 2 chapters were basically giving the names of the people in the Mugarama Commando unit.
Ooh,
And
good, cool.
the way it's laid out is amazing, because we've got the end of this chapter, which is Heizo Kasaki, who's the 5th seat. Then Shinobu Ishima, who is the 4th seat. And then there isn't one for the 3rd seat, because in that chapter, the Tosen reveal happens.
Oh.
So they're naming them all until you get to 3rd seat Tosen. And that's the reveal, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, so those were my end of chapters.
Man. God, 9th Division ended up with so many spots to fill after this. Fuck.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I never thought about that, but yeah, you're right. Wow.
Yeah. No wonder Tozen ended up where he did, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, Betrayal, Aizen's... I want to ask, why was that anime episode that we just discussed called Hiyori Dies, Beginning of Tragedy?
Well, it's Hiyori Dies question mark.
Question mark.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Is it?
Does she even get close to dying in that episode?
Well, yeah, she's like very visibly, physically unconscious. Like that's the episode. That's if I'm not mistaken. Like Shinji is holding her in his arms at the end of this episode.
I thought it was very clear
Yeah,
that she was still alive though at that point. Like,
oh yeah, like she's actively not okay.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
she's not okay, but she's not entirely dead either.
Sorry. I got distracted by another note, which is can we just talk for back to 210 for 1 second. The way Shinji holding I'm too excited. Shinji holding Hiyori in one arm, sword only available to him with one other arm, blocking Mashiro's kicks that fast. Holy shit, he is so good. He is so good. I always fucking lose my mind when I see him fight in these episodes. Oh, but that's just one example. It's incredible. He is, like, to be able to do that, sir.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, and it just proves the amount of skill he has, and not only that, but the amount of protection and instinct that he has, because he's okay, he's not holding her very ceremoniously, but he's still basically protecting her. And it's not in a sense of, if that was, say, Byakuya and a lieutenant of a different company, he probably would have thrown them away by that point and said, "Get out of here, kid." You know.
Yeah, true. Oh my gosh,
so
the fact that he That is a really good point. He didn't have to keep holding on to her, did he? Oh my god, my heart. Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think that's even backed up when we come into the next episode, because I feel like these episodes bleed together anyway, so
They do, they all do, actually.
Like, the fact that when Hiyori starts to turn, she shouts at Shinji to, like, let her go, like she knows what's about to happen to her, and she's like, let go of me. And then she also she fights against her inner hollow to fight off Kaname to defend Shinji at one point. Even in her horrified state, which I thought was incredible. So that obviously tells you how close those two were.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm actually done for that episode. Sorry. Actually, no, I'm not.
That's okay, because I already started talking about something that happened in the next episode anyway, which was Hiyori turning and defending Shinji from Kaname.
Should I go into the manga anime differences of this one, and then we can just kind of continue on? Yeah. Okay, so episode 211 takes 2 manga chapters. We've got manga chapter minus 100, Turn Back the Pendulum 9, and manga chapter minus 99, Turn Back the Pendulum 10. We've got some extra waffle with them all just standing around and not fighting, which, you know, Kensei and Mishiro are very kindly not doing anything. They're letting them plan. Love's whole idea. Love gets a lot more credit in the anime. Love doesn't really have any lines in the manga, and this idea was not his. They didn't even have an idea. Hachi just comes in and binds them. So there's that whole extra waffle of them discussing and then fighting. There's extra Eisen waffle. There's a lot of waffling. I want waffles now. The anime kind of gives Shinji a lot more credit as well. Shinji starts to realize that how that it is that he listens to what Aizen says with the whole it's sped up with emotions, and he stays calm and gains control, and Shinji fights. That's all anime only.
Oh, are you joking? I know you're not. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah. And then just a small kind of note detail. Kaname has his eyes closed in the anime the whole entire time. But in the manga, his eyes are actually open.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
He's got no pupils. They're just whited out. But there's just a difference of eyes open versus eyes closed in the anime/manga. But yeah, that's it. Just a lot of waffles. With bananas on top.
Oh, yum. I want whipped cream on mine.
But yeah, that was it. And then, Baby Nanao! Sorry, we had to continue the baby joke from the others on last episode.
She's so cute. She's so cute.
I love her.
Very cute. But I'm also like, Kuraku is talking to her like he doesn't know her. That's very interesting for later.
What? I feel like he's talking to her like he knows her. Like, but he doesn't want her to think it's weird.
He sees her once a month. Yeah. Like, I think I've seen you around.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I feel like he's going into it being like, how do I make it not weird that I know your name? And how do I not scare you because you're a child? Is like, I feel like what that was.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's just your Nanai say, right? So he's making her feel validated by the fact that he, a captain, knows her name, whereas captains probably don't have an obligation to know all 200 odd people in their squad.
There's
so
no
he's
way
there
Okitake doesn't. I will die.
I know Okitake probably does, but Byakuya probably doesn't know all 200 people in his squad or however many.
I feel like Unohana just absorbs that information by osmosis, and she probably knows the names of everyone in her squad. Actually.
So Kuraku's just there, and he's making her feel validated and a welcome member of the team by remembering her, by outwardly saying, "I know your name."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it makes sense to me that, because he and Lisa share a close relationship, and this was a monthly thing for Lisa. Like, Lisa would be with Nanao regularly, so it makes sense that he would know about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That totally absolutely makes sense. Anyway.
Can we... Let's talk about Hachi and the fact that he does a level 90 without an incantation.
Right? How impressive
I know, he's
is
so
that?
impressive. Oh, Hachi.
Like, this is the skills you have to aspire to become the lieutenant of the Kido Corps.
Yeah.
And then
That's
Eisen
great.
just goes and blows it out of the water by doing a level 80 without an incant. But, you know, Eisen's a whole different breed of soul.
God.
I think that was like a big eye opener for a lot of them, when he just like rocks out that without an incantation at a lieutenant level. Like, it's just insane. But yeah, makes me feel quite happy actually, because I'm pretty sure did Rukia not manage to get up to, like, was it the late 60s or early 70s she pulled one off, and I was like, yeah, that's my girl.
Something like
It's
that.
something like that. Yeah.
Pretty sure Momo's
That
done
is
it as well.
the same. It's the same spell, Danku, that Byakuya uses to block one of Zamari's eye attack things.
Yeah,
also.
we've seen Danku, I think, a few
Yeah.
times.
I think we have.
throughout.
I mean, it's a basic shield, but, well, it's
It
not
is.
basic. It's like it's in the 80s. It's not just for anybody to bust out casually, but
No. But
Yeah.
all the times we've seen it, we have seen it incantationless?
incantationless.
Incantationless, yeah. Which makes fanfic writing annoying, because you have no incantation to go off of.
Hey, you get to play. You get to extrapolate with you. You can. I don't know. I don't hate it.
Mumbles the
One
incantation.
of the things I did think
Oh.
about this episode, right, is that, see, Hiraku, did it feel like to anybody else that he was checking up on Aizen, that he was maybe a little bit sus?
100%.
Yeah, because, like, why else
yes,
would he
that's the
have
whole
Yeah.
reason he was.
here?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Maybe
way-
I'm thinking too much. He says. I mean.
Yeah.
The way he just looks up at him, and, like, it's almost as if he's trying to see through whatever hypnosis.
Yes, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. And it strikes me as odd, because I'm sure we've had it previously, that it's stated that the captains and lieutenants are never too far apart. So in this case, then wouldn't Eisen have technically gone with, what's his face? Shinji. Oh my god, don't tell Shinji I said that.
Wow, Nomi. Wow. Wow,
I
Nomi.
really actually the fact that we have this on audio immortalized forever is
that's
hilarious.
it. We can hold this over your head. Blackmail. But yeah, I think though, when it's a direct order given by Yamamoto to only send the
Right.
captains, I think that would be slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and he's not. It seems like Yamamoto split up other captain lieutenant pairs. Like, he allowed Lisa to go without Kyoraku having to go with her. It's not. I mean, granted, I don't know who the fuck Rose's lieutenant is, for example, or Love's, but neither of those people, whoever they are,
Can we ask,
needed
though,
to go with their captains.
why did he not let Urahara go? I've got a theory on this, but I want to hear what you guys think
Ooh,
about
I want to hear your theory.
Got
Okay.
a theory.
this. It's just a small theory. It's
Oh
nothing
my
major.
god! Oh! You want to... whatever, dad figures, mentors, I have a whole thing with that too. Carry on, my god.
Okay, right. So a couple of things came to mind with this, right? Is that he was either sending a captain or a lieutenant from the divisions, and he was also sort of taking note of to who was already their captain and lieutenant wise, right? So, for me, I think he didn't want to leave any division without a captain and lieutenant as a possibility, and also, can you trust a captain and lieutenant to fight back to back without, when those stakes are obviously very high, as was transcribing, to the point that if one of them became incapacitated, would the other one become emotional like Urahara was being in that meeting?
Ooh.
The only counter I have for that, Lethan, is the fact that he was willingly going to send both the captain and the lieutenant of the Kido Corps,
True.
I had
and was
that thought
against
also.
Kuraku sending Lisa instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then maybe that was why he was so easily like talked round to Lisa getting sent instead.
I mean, he really didn't have a chance. Kuraku just made that decision.
That is true.
Which
maybe
I love
also
that
I
element
know.
of things. I just love
and the
playing
fact that
with
Yama's like,
Kuraku's
you know
guilt.
what? Fine. Like, but there is something like I imagine like Kyoraku has earned his stripes by now. You know, he's been around for a long time. He's a powerful, competent person. Yamamoto probably does have good reason to trust his judgment. You know. Mm-hmm. I also wonder whether it would be complicated and messy to find it. Oh my god. It's like, oh no, if both Hiyori and Kisuke end up fucked, then Mayuri has to be the captain of the 12th, and I wonder if Yamamoto, like, didn't want that.
Maybe.
Never mind the way things ended up. But
I mean,
you know,
yeah,
the,
he
the
was
12th
somebody from
recently had
Maggots.
recently had a turnover of leadership. I wonder if he didn't want to go through the process of finding another captain for the 12th specifically so soon, because that's the most recent changeover that we saw.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe he's just terrified that if Hiyori dies, then Hikafune is going to come down from wherever Squad Zero is and kick his ass, and Yoruichi's going to kick his ass because Kisuke is dead, you know. Maybe Yamamoto's just scared of two powerful females.
I cannot even tell you how badly I want that. I love that.
But can
sorry,
like we
my
give
brain
a
is
little shout
spinning.
out to Yoruichi? Like she's powerful. Like she managed to take down like all of the Central 46 guards and managed to transport like Shinji and everybody to where they needed to go without getting spotted by anyone. And like half of bloody Urahara's research. I know that's kind of coming into the next episode, but I just thought that was very cool.
Whilst we're on the subject of badass females, yeah.
But speaking of which, though, like one of the things that I loved about this episode, well, there's two things I've got. One of them's kind of fucking stupid, right? But I was a bit like Aizen's voice in the dub is like a meditation session, and I don't know how I feel about it.
He's really good.
It's very good.
That's
it's
Kyle
so
Hebert.
Good.
Shout out to Kyle Hebert. He's incredible.
So fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also like, this sounds like I'm listening to a really awful meditation session right now. Like it sounds like the creepy meditation that's like designed to keep you up at night, not put you to sleep. So, but it's very good. Like that kind of monotone. Anyway, but yeah, that was one thing. But also,
Eisen is one of the few voice actors that I go really. It's hard for me to say, but I think I actually prefer Eisen in the dub, and I seldom prefer the dub.
I mean, I could understand why. Even just if you want to listen to a dub sample, watch that episode. Like watch episode 211, Eisen, and listen to Eisen's voice in it because it is very good.
He is so calm and so steady, and hearing him say such awful things in that steady tone of voice makes me so angry. It
uncomfortable,
hurts. And I
as
don't
well.
always feel that way when I watch the sub.
Yeah. Oh god, I felt. He felt untouchable. It's hard.
Right.
But there's a really fucking awesome transition when Kuraku's explaining to Nanao that, you know, it's fine, Lisa's going to be back, she'll be back, and we just see the blood splurt from Lisa as a transition into her falling. And I'm like, that's very good.
Yep.
Yeah. It's fine.
No.
Wait, anyway. Okay. Is it, in the dub, does Rose say something like, what the heck, Kensei, why did you hit a girl? Like, obviously Rose isn't
something
that
like
way, but
that.
I was like, what the fuck, Rose? What is that about?
It was something along the lines of Kensei wouldn't hit a girl that way, or something like that. I did remember clocking
You
it.
aren't the kind of weakling who would strike a girl,
Yes,
was the
something
literal
like
quote.
that.
I paraphrased.
Yes. Which is an insult to all their female captains and lieutenants.
Right, and I'm also like, excuse me, Rose, you're gonna wear your hair like that and then say something like that? What the fuck are you doing, my guy? What are you doing? What are you doing? Not that gender expression equals gender identity, like fucking obviously, but come on, man.
I was trying to see if it was in the manga, but I think that was one of the anime-only bits. Like,
thank God, because that sucks.
Yeah, thank
that
goodness.
sucks.
Yeah,
I didn't like it one bit.
Nah, me neither. It didn't make me think very highly of his character at all.
It didn't seem like a Rose thing to say, I feel like.
But that's me for that episode, to be honest. I just had a little note about the Kaname reveal being, like, really cool.
Yeah.
And also how, like, Kaname, just the how he looks, like he looks very different. And then so when he takes that mask off and we get that sort of reveal, I was like, oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to find someone now who's never watched Bleach and just get them to watch these episodes to see how they react.
That would be interesting.
Right.
But I mean, it wouldn't be as good with the Tosin reveal because
you
we
don't
don't
know who
meet
that is.
Tosin up until that point. Yeah. We kind of meet him. Yeah, it'll be hard.
And Kensei's advanced party division, not advanced party, the Muguruma special unit thing, whatever.
For me, with regards to this chapter, the only other bits I've got were some kind of mind-blowing timeline-y bits, because I do like my timelines.
Yes.
Some of it, like, I can't talk about yet because the other half of it hasn't happened yet.
Okay. All right.
But it's all to do with it. I hadn't realized certain aspects of the two Hogyoku timelines.
Oh.
And this kind of just reminded me of it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's what I hadn't realized. So that whole the whole timeline, and the fact that basically Shinji and everybody else were just the guinea pigs because Aizen hasn't mastered this technique yet, and you know, he's learning, and the whole experiment is just ongoing until, I don't know, can we say Ichigo is now a success? Like, is that a thing?
I mean, put it in that success story question, TBH.
So yeah, but it was just all of that, and this is 100 years ago. So you know, he's playing the long game as Aizen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I figured. A thought that occurred to me for the first time on this watch through, and also, by the way, last week after we finished recording, I was so amped up that I watched these episodes because I was like, I knew I was going to watch the sub today, so I went through and I, like, as I was doing some housework and stuff, I just put on the dub, and I watched these 3 episodes dubbed over last week as well, but I didn't notice it last week. I did notice it this week in my watch through, just a thought that occurred to me, which is, there were all of these disappearances in the Rukongai where souls were turning into Reishi and leaving their clothes behind and stuff. And so I was wondering if somehow or other Aizen orchestrated it so that he could have captain class soul reapers out in the Rukon right at the point when he was like, okay, I think I'm getting closer, and there could be some level of stability attached to this. They're not going to just disappear and become Reishi anymore. They're going to stay corporeal in some way. And so Shinji and Ko were the test subjects for maybe like another finalized iteration of this, where Aizen was pretty confident that folks weren't going to just disappear into Reishi.
Yeah. Yeah, because he tried it on innocent citizens. He tried it on just standard soul reapers.
Right.
So now the next stage, would be captains.
Because the stakes get higher once you start to involve, because people are going to notice if a captain or a lieutenant just disappears into Reishi and that's it. I mean, people are going to notice if their signals get fucked up anyway, but it's a bigger gamble if you're going to involve captains and lieutenants. So I kind of get the sense that the fact that this happened at all was indicative of the fact that Aizen was a little bit more certain about his process. He was probably, but also for the first time, because otherwise we would have had random holified soul reapers bopping around, and we didn't. So
I like that Aizen orchestrating it all, and you know, there were survivors, which I think this is moving into the next episode, but when
fine.
But when Kisuke shows up, we actually see genuine surprise on Aizen's face.
Yeah, I think we do.
And I actually think Kisuke arriving threw him for a loop, and he had to improvise. I mean, he improvised spectacularly and managed to hide any evidence whatsoever. To a point. He probably didn't account for Yoichi coming in and carting them all off. But
no.
I do think that was the one time we saw Aizen, and he didn't actually know what was going to happen, and he was flying by the seat of his pants
That's a good point.
for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He just opened and closed his mouth like a fish for a second.
He really did.
Oh.
Yeah. Other than that, I've just got my end of chapter things. I'm not going to play the end of the volume game. I'm going to leave that for next week.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Oh
Oh my gosh, but I can't do next week. I'm not going to be on the episode next week.
Oh, do you want me to do it this
That's fine.
weekend?
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let somebody else. I've had my turn. Go. Let somebody else do it.
Oh no,
Okay.
that's gonna be me.
Well,
I'm bad at
you've got a week to resist Googling this. That's what
Dale,
you've
that's
got.
not a problem. Like, you know, I forget everything. Like, as soon as I say
Oh,
off
yeah,
this,
I
I'm
know.
gonna forget we even put me.
That's
You've
true.
only got
That's
2
true.
days to. You've only got 2 days until we do
very
it.
true,
Anyway,
yeah,
so.
very
I mean, time is fickle. You never know.
Yeah. But there was a Bleach popularity poll. If you want to know who the top 10 were.
I think at this point, was it not coming into Toshiro being number 1 or close to it?
Yeah, it was.
It
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Ichigo's in the top 10. He's got to be, right?
He's third.
Is he not? Okay, he's third.
So wait a minute, but you have to guess who's second now.
Yeah, that's. I feel like it could be either Byakuya or Renji, or it could be Rukia.
Well, I don't think it might be Rukia, but I was thinking like I don't know why I was leaning towards Grimjow for a hot second there.
Oh, that's a good call. That's a good call.
Grimjow was 4th.
Oh, I was close.
Byakuya was 7th. Renji was 11th.
What?
So who was second? Was it Rukia?
It's Rukia.
My queen.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Yep.
Number 1 in my heart, baby.
Ishida was 5th.
Oh, sure.
Oh, cute.
Momo was 6th.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
bless her.
Yeah. And it's funny because Kon has a whole conversation with Momo saying, "You shouldn't be here. Get back to bed." Anyway.
I mean, honestly,
Ohime is
true.
8th. Kira is 9th, and Okiora is 10th.
Wait, did you say Kira?
Yep.
Wow.
What? That is the most random name on this list, I feel like.
Yep. And
I think
Yuki-
Kira's great, but I'm surprised.
Shinji is 41. That's kind of sad.
What?
He'll go further
they're
up,
wrong,
though,
but
I
that's
think.
that's
Yeah.
the problem.
I
bet my
Soul
son's not
Candy
even on the
King.
list. Ugh.
Soul Candy King is 31.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, fuck
It's
no.
the King Soul Candy that is it Toshiro has?
Oh, right. Okay, is that the one that just hides in the bins?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I don't know, man. I would consider Kisuke a Soul Candy King at this point, but I don't think that's what we're talking about.
Let's find out where your boy is.
I'm gonna get how many names are on the list total? Is it like 100 or something?
50.
Oh, there are 50. Then I'm guessing he's number 49 or something stupid.
No, that's Tesla.
Oh no! Well, wait, who's
Like
number
the
50?
car?
Tesla, Noe Torres Fraction.
Oh.
Ishin is 50.
Is number 50? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Oh,
guess.
Hisana gets 38th.
I bet Ukitake is less popular than Hisana. No, I bet he's right around there. I don't know.
He's not here.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way he's in the top 50. Nobody's gonna put that man in the top 50. I mean, not nobody,
Yeah.
but
Oh, no, there he
no,
is.
we're a
He's
small-
19th.
We're a small but fighty subset. What? He's 19th?
Yep. And
Oh, I'm so
Kuraku is 17th. And
Yeah, I was gonna
Chad's
say,
in
there's no
between
way
them at
he's not
18.
more popular. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, there we go. So yeah, that is all I have for 211.
I think it is also a cool, stupid, unnecessary, flare-filled extra flex that Kisuke is just like, and then slices the lieutenant badge off like, fuck you, bitch, you do not deserve this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
It is
good.
it's not,
It's very good.
I don't even think it's petty, because it's like, Eisen actually does not deserve that, and Eisen actually is a piece of shit. But it's like, well, Kisuke didn't have to do that. He chose to do that, and I think it was a great choice.
It was a great choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get to see another stellar example of Shinji's incredible swordsmanship as he fights Kaname while he's literally holifying, so... he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah. 212?
That's all I have.
Yeah.
212.
Okay, so 212 consists of manga chapters minus 98, Turn Back the Pendulum 11, and minus 97, breaking the trend of the past 12 chapters. We've got Let Stop the Pendulum.
Oh.
Yep, Let Stop. And basically, the only manga anime differences are extra dialogue from Kisuke and words after revealing the Hogyoku. So it was just like, again, filler.
Well,
Some waffle.
But I think my favorite part of this was the ending.
oh, like the very end, like
The
that
very
last image. Because
ending.
that, oh my god, I know.
It was so good. Like, even I had to, like, as somebody that wasn't really a fan of the Visors and not really particularly a fan of Shinji before this, like, watching it and really analysing it and really breaking it down, like, I really appreciated it this time around. Like, watching that scene and just hearing his little voiceover, and yeah, I was like, okay, Shinji, I'm with you, I get it.
Yeah, and he's just, I love his voice. I mean, this is not just true in Japanese, but universally I fucking love a regional accent regardless. And so there is something that's just so delightful. It's like that we saw who he was, and now we get to see who he is in the present day. And there is something so level and even about him now. Like, he's fully accepted who he is and where he is and what he and his friends have to do. And so with that amazing, like, silhouetted backlit shot that ends the episode and his voice, it's like, it's still very casual. Like, that little, like, the R's are rolled just that little bit of extra amount, and it's just like, yeah, let's go. And it's so cool. It's so
good.
cool. All I have to say about it is that it just makes me fucking flail every time. Oh, but it's just very good.
A lot of my notes for this episode actually consist of fan souling, because even like my last bullet point there is just the ending in capital letters with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 exclamation marks. And then I had to put like a little note at the side just to remind myself what the ending actually was, because I know how bad my memory is. So, but so I can't just go off of that ending. But I've also got like a poor Urahara there with a sad face, and I can't really remember why I particularly put that one down. Obviously, I think it was
the whole episode would be grounds to justify that.
But I think it was the central. I think it was the central 46 scene in particular. I think that got me to put that bit down.
Yeah. And I found their sentences very interesting. For one of two things. One, which will get revealed in the future. But we've got Kisuke, who's been sentenced to exile, which to me sounds like you're sending someone who is capable of all of this to a place where he can still do all of this.
But he's
meant to be stripped of all of his spiritual power too.
He was meant to get stripped of it all.
He is Kisuke. He'd probably find a way to get that back.
That's true. We know
that.
Gave it to go his back. 46 has thought that far ahead, really.
Yeah. And then we've got Tessai for his Forbidden Kido going to level 3 of this place. Like, so it's not Maggot's Nest he's being sent to. He's being sent, and I'm going to find the words because...
Shugo. It's Shugo.
Yeah, Shugo. I knew it began with S.
Yep. Yeah, well, Maggot's Nest is for people that haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Tessai has done something.
And he's very powerful.
Multiple somethings.
Yeah, and he's technically powerful without his Zanpakuto, so you can't just take his Zanpakuto off him.
No.
I wonder, though, if those in Kido have Zanpakuto.
That's what I was thinking, because I didn't notice.
Oh.
Because we don't see...
Hachi or Tessai, do we?
Wait, hang a sec.
Let's see.
I'm going to a manga chapter when they've
maybe I was
all
just
got
so
their
distracted by their I was maybe so distracted by what they were wearing.
Yeah.
Hang a sec. I need the right chapter. No, he's hidden. He takes up the whole Rose and Hiyori behind him, so we don't actually see if he's got a Zanpakuto with him.
Yeah, I'm looking at that closing shot as well, and you can see the silhouettes of quite a few people with their Zanpakuto, but you can't see one on Kensei, and we know Kensei has one, so it's not a great thing to use to figure out whether, like, you don't see Hachi carrying one here, but you also, like, you can't really see Hiyori's, and we know she's got one, so
Yeah.
who knows.
Oh, wait, hello. I have an image here of him having a Zanpakuto.
Huh?
Hachi?
Yeah. It's anime, though, so that might not be...
Yeah, let's see.
Hachijin's Zanpakuto. His Zanpakuto has a broad blade and a square-shaped hilt.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the side of Del and I come into the collective decision to not say anymore. Sorry, lad.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
So yeah, it's something to put out there that maybe not all of them have Zanpakuto.
Because even Yoruichi still doesn't have one, or at least not that we've seen.
Right.
Maybe she traded her in for a cool cat ability. And she just went to the market one day and they were like, you give me your Zanpakuto and I'll tell you how to turn into a cat.
Here's a potentially interesting thing, though. I thought, because you know that moment when Ichigo is like going ham against Hiyori, and all of a sudden it's like you are in the center of like a visored group hug with swords, and everybody is like, "Nope, we're on it. Swords out. Boom, done." You know that moment.
Yeah.
You can see. So all of them are gathered around Ichigo. All of them have their swords out, except Hachi does not.
No, he does.
Oh wait, yes, he does. He does.
It's
just
between
hidden
Love
behind
and
Shinji's
Shinji.
shoulder. Yep, there it is. So Hachi there you go. Hachi has his Zanpakuto. He just prefers Kido, I suppose, which makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cute. Okay, that's cute.
Wait, dude, Kensei is fully stepping on Ichigo's hand
I
here.
know.
Oh my god.
One thing though, just like
This
coming
shot
back.
is amazing.
It's
Sorry,
so
just
beautiful.
coming back to what you were saying, like coming back to that actually. Remember when we found out that Hiyori had such a difficult time controlling her hollow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is very interesting to me because she was one of the first to demonstrate any kind of control over it in these episodes, wasn't she? She was the first one to attack Kaname when he tried to go for Shinji. And so I'm wondering if maybe she feels loads of remorse from it because she also attacked Shinji at the beginning, and maybe like that, like it just doesn't sit right with her that she nearly killed her friend who was trying to protect her, and maybe that's why she's had such an internal battle with it.
That could be part of it, yeah.
She strikes me as the kind of person who feels deeply, even though she would never want anybody to think that over. But like the fact that like you saw her with tears in her eyes when she was like threatening Urahara from changing the room of her previous captain, who we said was like a mother figure over.
Yeah.
So I feel like Shinji's like the big brother, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for
That
sure.
she loves.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, well, I don't know, because we know that the various Vizards can maintain their masks for different amounts of time, and we saw in these episodes that holification advances more quickly for some people than for others, and I mean, whether the whole, it's probably not just like, oh, how agitated are you? There are probably more components to it than that, but it seems to me that there is a pretty direct correlation between like your own personal emotional control and probably the speed of holification, but also the amount of time you can maintain your hollow mask. And because Shinji can keep his on for 10 minutes, which is a long fucking time. And then if you think about, I don't know, Shinji to me strikes me, and we're getting into like speculation, fic, exploration I've done through my own like relationship with this character, whatever kind of stuff, but Shinji doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. He really, really does not. He's got shit going on underneath, and he puts up a facade more than someone like Hiyori does, more than someone like Mashiro does, probably even more than someone like Kensei does. Like, Kensei's a straight shooter, you know? Mm-hmm. So I wonder whether, like, Hiyori is I think pretty in touch with her emotions and is never really bothered to tamp them down or try and control them much. And so once she ends up with an inner hollow, like, she's not going to have a lot of experience pushing back against what instinctively wants to emerge. Whereas I feel like Shinji and like Lisa maybe and a couple others are better practiced at that.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love them all too much.
God, I know. I was just like sitting in my feelings for a hot second.
Do you know what I took a note of actually at the beginning of this episode when Urahara swept in? I've put a wee note here that says there's something hot about Urahara, isn't there? I was like, I never thought about anybody.
Are you just discovering this? Oh my gosh, I think he's been hot boy from day one in my opinion. Even when he has like stubble and a bad hat.
No. Not for me.
Oh
but
my
like
god, I think he's so beautiful.
This moment was like when I was like, oh, I can kind of see it now.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing because I had a thought this episode for the first time during this episode? Yeah, it was. When Aizen and Urahara were speaking with each other and I was looking at the two of them and I was like, from a character design standpoint, like they are two super like average looking people. Like, they just look like they could be anybody on the street. Both of them. For the most part. And I feel like that was not an accident. I do think they're both very handsome, though. I think Urahara is more handsome, but I think that's because he's not an evil mastermind trying to fill the unbearable vacancy in the throne of the sky.
Can we talk about the fact that Central 46 just wanted to dispose of all these captains and lieutenants as hollows, like they're throwaway fucking toys?
Right? Yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah, they're effectively losing 10, because they don't know about Yoichi's involvement yet.
Right.
Captain class Shinigami. That's
a lot?
Almost half of the captain class team of the Gotei 13. Yeah. And when you consider the fact that the 10th division hasn't got a captain at the moment.
Right. Oh
so
my gosh.
If they get rid of them all, they have to replace captain of 2nd, captain of 3rd, captain of 5th, captain of 7th, captain and lieutenant of 9th, the lieutenant of 8th, the captain and lieutenant of 12th, the captain of 10th because they never replaced him from the last time.
Yeah.
And both the captain and lieutenant of Kido.
Right. Oh my gosh. So now I'm like,
and
Eisen was trying to destabilize the Gotei.
Yeah, definitely did it.
He took care of a lot of heavy hitters in one fell swoop. Or so he thought.
Yeah, especially because now that Kido isn't under the jurisdiction of a Shihoin, are they also going to separate?
Yeah. Good point.
And so, and we see this destabilization now because, as Lethan brought up and how we talked about last podcast episode as well, there was so much more connection with the captains and lieutenants this time around.
I wonder if that's why he did it.
This is why...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People are too close and he needs them to not be.
Huh. Look at Eisen doing the interpersonal angle of his manipulations. I'm actually more impressed.
Eisen is best villain. Prove me wrong, you know.
He's an incredible villain. He's
so
a really great villain. As a character, I hate him as a person. I love him as a character. He is a wonderfully written character.
That is exactly my sentiments with Eisen as well. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I truly can't think of another villain in any media that continually, and I've been a fan of Bleach for a long time now, I can't think of another antagonist that makes me so viscerally upset and angry. Eisen is the clear winner in that for me. Mm-hmm. No contest.
I have Umbridge from Harry Potter would be one for me, I think.
But I think I always cared less about Harry Potter than I do about Bleach. I am a lukewarm fan of that series at best, and that was even before all of the bullshit. It was I've said this before. It was really important to some people. I was a Lord of the Rings kid. Harry Potter was good. It wasn't it wasn't to me what it was to a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm. She was just a bitch.
Yeah, she's a huge bitch.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about her is she didn't orchestrate all of the plans that make everything fall apart and fuck up. Eisen's the mastermind.
Eisen is single-handedly doing this with just his own brain and Umbridge had help.
And his Zanpakuto.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Well, I mean, same though, because manifestation of your soul and all that.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. God, yeah. Oh, man. The idea that his soul is, at his fundamental nature, he is the kind of person who tricks and manipulates. Oh my God. It's absolutely foul.
I have a lighter note though, if we want to join on a slightly lighter note. See when Yoruichi was infiltrating Central 46?
Mm-hmm.
One of the Central 46 people shouted out, "Stop that man!" But she was obviously covered up, obviously. But obviously they're
that's so stupid.
They're like, well, it obviously has to be a man. It can't be a woman that's doing all this. So I just thought
all
it
of
was really
Central
funny.
46 are a bunch of old dudes.
That's
though.
exactly why.
I don't think I've heard like a female voice in Central 46.
No, that is exactly why. But I just thought it was very funny, and it was like, I know it's Yoruichi. It's not even that she's a fucking cat. Like she's still, she's such a good character.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah. Did we have any other points for this one?
The fact that Tesai just casually goes, I'm going to create a time stop and a temporal distortion and teleport these people to the 12th division. You know, like this is something I just hidden up my sleeves. I'm going to get put in prison for it, but I'm just going to do it anyway.
Well, and the amount of like, this is illegal, so don't watch.
Don't watch, because
you never saw this.
But let's face it, we all know that
casually
Urahara
badass.
not only watched that, but he probably knows how to do it now from just that
Oh
one
yeah, he
observation.
definitely memorized that.
Because Urahara is another keto master, so yes. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
He probably even knew. He probably already knew how to do it and was
Yeah.
playing dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
It's
I
like,
don't know.
ooh, what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the only other thing that I just want to put out there is, so now we get to just see the raw, pure Hogyoku, and it has a presence. Like Tessai's trying to figure out whether it's like, oh God, does it have its own spiritual pressure? And he's like, not exactly, but there is something really like potent and actionable about the Hogyoku. It just by being in a space, it does stuff.
Yeah. I can understand why Urahara needed to get rid of it. I understand that, but why did he have to put it in Makuin?
Sometimes you just gotta use people.
I don't know. That annoyed me, especially when you see how he was with Hiyori. It felt very fatherly at points, and I was just like, where was that concern for Rukia? But I know that he doesn't know Rukia as well, but I was still like, yeah, okay.
Kisuke's been through it though by the time we get to contemporary Bleach.
That's
and
true.
I feel like he's not he's a colder person in the present day than he was 110 years ago.
I agree with that.
He just is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And he's always been cold, but
Colder.
yeah, you know, you get burned and you change a little. I think the entire squad, really, I think all of the Vizards and Kisuke, and maybe even Yoruichi too, I think all of them are a little steelier and a little colder in the present day than they were back 110 years ago. All of them. Mm-hmm. And of course, I don't know. I think it makes sense.
Makes sense, but doesn't mean I have to like it.
They're all very well adjusted, all things considered, I think.
Anything else?
No, the ends of these chapters were pretty boring.
I'm just gonna cry.
It was just pictures of Eisen at the end of the chapters. They weren't that exciting.
Oh, well, fuck off with that. You think we want to see that man's dumb face now? Kubo! Show some respect.
But,
Yeah, that's it for me. Oh, God. I just want to go back and watch all of it again.
I know.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Maybe I'll watch the dub and see.
Okay. Huh?
I was like, maybe I'll watch the dub. Just do what you did and watch now watch it in the
for
dub.
variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aizen's gonna piss you off more, guaranteed. Or, I don't know about guaranteed, but I just think there is something about the vocal quality he uses. Like, his vocal pitch is slightly higher than the person who voices him in the sub. And honestly, like, there is something about that works for me in a really specific way also. You almost expect Aizen to have this, like, deep, rich, roiling voice, and then when it's just... The more average Aizen seems back 110 years ago, the more he makes me angry. Not mad at the sub actor, though, because we get to hear his beautiful singing voice in character songs and covers, and it is dark chocolate. It is beautiful. Well, if that's it for our episodes and chapters, we actually have some delving into the Dangai news this week, do we not?
We do indeed. So, to celebrate 20 years of Bleach, we have a new cover, a new edition of the Bleach manga. So the 20th anniversary exclusive edition of Bleach Volume 1. It releases August 2nd, 2020. You can pre-order it now, and it is already surpassing sales. Viz Media have been like posting about it, saying that it has surpassed all their expectations. It was trending first 836, like they had all the figures and they're tracking it. It was really good.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's exciting.
That is, so you can pre-order it now. And it says August 2nd, and when I clicked on the link and went to Amazon, it's actually the 1st of September in the UK, so sorry folks, you got to wait a month. But yeah. And it's
great.
It is a throwback to Kubo's old artwork, so it's definitely the old art style.
Yeah.
And it actually is from a copy of Shonen Jump that inspired this. So yeah. If you want to support Kubo
cool
and have
looking.
some new additions, then yeah, feel free to check it out. We'll drop the link down in the subject totes, the description, the thing. I don't.
Oh yeah, the notes.
I don't social.
Show notes. You're good.
Show notes.
You're good.
Yeah.
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 Cool. With that, let's move on to our Shinigami Cup Peroxide Edition. Who wore it best this week, folks?
I put Hiyori's defiance of her holification for Shinji.
Oh, nice.
Love it. Mine is the Vizards and their collective decision to go out and join the fight.
Oh, man. I get so. I'm gonna make that my desktop background. I can't not. Anyway, who wore it best for me this week? I've decided that it means Hollow Mask. Fine, whatever. I decided to give that award to Shinji for staving off his holification process for as long as he did. Not necessarily saying that I think his mask looks the coolest or whatever. I think quite a few of them look cool, but that struggle just gets me every time, and the amount of things that he's able to do while he is holifying just punches me in the fucking gut. And he's a hero and he's amazing and I love him, so in addition to Shinji just always wearing it best, he also like earnestly gets that award from me this week. Oh god. Okay, best ship.
I have Urahara father vibes for Hiyori.
Aww.
Nice.
Yeah. Mine is Lisa and Anai's sister vibes.
We're doing family
Like,
vibes.
Lisa, big sister, and I reading stories at night. Yeah.
Yes, that's so fucking cute.
Mine is Hiraku and Lisa, captain-lieutenant relationship, on the same page for life. Get it. Love it.
Did we all go for like kind of family themes this time? That's cute.
We went for the family feels. I love it.
We really did. Which frankly just goes to show how prominent that is within this arc, actually. That all three of us defaulted to picking out different examples of that. Mm-hmm. It's really strong. Mm-hmm. Okay. Fandom shout out this week.
Okay, I have got a very interesting piece actually, and a bit of a game to go with it.
Ooh.
So,
Oh boy.
this I'm going to start with this one because I feel like this one makes more sense. So this is a piece that comes from a really famous wolf artist on DeviantArt called Wild Spirit Wolf, and people have probably like seen a lot of this person's art in like wolf form before. They do a lot of like tattoos and stuff that come up when you search for like wolf tattoos and stuff on Google, and this is make sure I'm putting it into the right chat. This is a piece that they did, and it is the Bleach characters as wolves. So I was going to ask you to guess. Can you think you work out which one of these characters is which?
Oh, well, yeah, yes.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear.
It is,
For
yeah.
the most part.
Okay,
You've got...
Go for it.
Okay. Top
We're gonna go like start out. Like
Top left.
top left, and
top left,
clockwise?
yeah. So that's obviously
Great. Well,
Shinji.
That's our son.
Yep. Grimjaw would be next.
Yep.
And then Kira.
Yep.
And then I'll let you see the next one, Del.
Oh, sure. Well, that's Hiyori. Guys, the wolf is wearing a hat.
Yeah, it's...
Obviously.
um,
Well, and then Urahara. Excuse me, what the heck? Ukiora. They
Yeah.
start with too many...
Ukiora,
We've been talking
yep.
about him all episode.
yep,
Ukiora.
Okio is down bottom
Ukiora.
right, yep.
I feel like the next one's Byakuya.
It's not Byakuya.
Oh, well, that was a reasonable guess. What do you think?
I don't
Nomi?
know. Is that Aizen?
No.
No. Eisen would be brown.
Yoichi?
No.
Oh.
Think
I guess it could be
13th
Rukia, but
division.
it's so
Think
big.
13th division.
That's
What? Is that Kayan?
It's Kayan.
Oh, okay, but
That's just nobody does Kayan. That's an unexpected
Yeah.
choice. Okay, sure. And then you got sneaky little
Gin.
Gin.
I love
obviously.
Gin. And then
Yeah, Gin is cute.
Matsumoto, Rangiku.
Yes,
Yeah,
well
yeah.
done. And I'm going to share, there is one more that they've done that they have got Byakuya in, but I want to share it for the Urahara one, because the Urahara one at the bottom right with the hat is just
he's
so fucking
beautiful.
good. It's so good.
He's so beautiful. Oh
Oh,
my goodness.
Ichigo and Rukia.
Yep. Toshiro
Oh,
and Ukitake at the right hand side.
look at the little.
And Ishida as well.
Yes.
There's a Hanataro.
Yeah.
Look
There is a
at
There's a
Hanataro.
little Hanataro.
Yeah, so this artist is fantastic, and so it's a Wild Spirit Wolf on DeviantArt, and these pieces are Bleach Wolf character and then Bleach Wolf character 2, the two of them.
I am still finding the source for mine, so can you go first?
Oh yeah, sure.
I lost it.
I'm also being extra on main this week, and I'm sharing two because one of them I've been waiting to share for a long time because it's just stupid and funny and I like it. But the other one is just a gorgeous portrait that came across my dash this week, and it's completely relevant. So I'm sharing two things, and I don't care.
Go for it.
The first one is from a person who goes by Mega Critic, spelled sort of unusually, but it'll be a link in the notes, so you're good, on Tumblr, and it's just a beautiful portrait of Kisuke, further cementing his position as hot boy. There are a lot of hot boys. 12th Division is made up of hot boys. I don't know what to tell you. I just think the look in his eyes and the softness and the way this person has painted his hair, it's beautiful. It's that right mix of like
Oh,
melancholy and hope.
Yes, melancholy is
Stunning.
exactly where my mind went when I saw it as well, and I just like the way that they've done the shading on the uniform as well. It's so pretty.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. So it's a close-up portrait of Urahara clearly wearing his captain's hori, no hat. So just beautiful. The other one is dumb and great. This is from a person called Ruro Draws on Tumblr. Y'all know Bongo Cat?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, great. So
Wait, is
here's-
this what I think it is?
Probably. It's for other characters,
Yes!
but this is the Vizards as Bongo Cats, and it's just so satisfying and so stupid. So click on the links if you want to see all of them. But basically, if you look at them all together, it's just 8 little visors who have like hair and glasses and details and whatever, doing the little like stupid, like the little Shinji one has Shinji's piano teeth, and they're just like bang, 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 bang. It's cute, it's stupid. There you go.
I was not prepared for that.
I love it.
was very good.
Yeah, it's hard to prepare for visored bongo cats.
It's very good though.
That's
Yep,
so
very
cool.
good.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. Mine is... I finally found it. Mine is artwork by Ken1row_u on Twitter. And it's just an appreciation of the visors.
Oh, that's so
my
cool.
God. Oh my god. I mean,
In all of their glory.
yeah, but also look
going
at him.
to war. And just... Yes.
This is like
I
very
can't.
Kubo-esque, like art
It is,
style as
yeah.
well, isn't it? It's very well done.
Oh my god, I can't with Shinji. I
yeah.
can't with Shinji.
Just look at him with his hair and like...
I know.
They're all just... You can just tell their personalities just by the way that they're all standing and framed in their tiny little slithers of a shot as well. Ugh.
Why are they all perfect?
Right?
Well, shit. we did it! We did turn back the pendulum!
Yes, we did.
Gosh. Any closing words, closing thoughts, closing feelings at the end of this glorious small arc?
I just...
No, I have no words. I'm just... It's one of Bleach's best.
Yeah, it really is.
Yes, it really is. This is my favourite arc. I just love it, and it just opens up so many more possibilities now. They're going to war. They're going to be there, and it just makes me excited for the anticipation of what is to come.
Yeah.
And gutted when I updated the spreadsheet and sure that I was going to be cruising the very week that we're talking about a very sudden fight, and I'm not going to be there for it.
Wait, let me scroll down our spreadsheet. What the fuck? Oh, we might have to see if we can do something about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Okay. We
But
can
if-
maybe record that one in advance or something.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be stupid for you.
We
to
could do
miss. I don't
two
wanna
very
miss
close
that.
together. We could do two very
yeah.
close together. Yeah.
But yeah, I was updating it today and I was like, oh no.
Yeah. No, we'll figure out a way to make
Yeah.
that work.
We can.
Thanks, guys.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, the storm is gathering and soon
Yes.
it's gonna break. And I am also very excited.
Oh, we're
Yes,
getting
we
closer,
are.
guys.
We are getting
It's-
closer.
It may not seem like it because next if you're following the timeline of Bleach episodes, anime episodes with the throwing another filler arc in, so it may not seem like the end is in sight, but
Yeah.
it's-
No, they
Yes.
just wanted to keep everybody in
October's soon.
suspense.
I see
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
did, dear. I see what you did. I appreciated that. It's very intelligent.
It's the same fucking thing that happened to me last week. We get to the end and my body is still really full of emotions, and so I'm gonna have to go for a run and listen to character songs at the same time after this or something. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with myself. Okay, yeah, because as I'm sure you have surmised by now, you wonderful souls, that is the end of another episode. If you like what you heard and you want to get involved, you can find us by searching for The Seirete on Instagram and T Seirete on Twitter. Now, Ichigo and Rukia might reap souls, but we are hoping to reap some 5-star reviews, and that is where you come in. Make like our favorite orange-haired protector and go to iTunes and Spotify to rate us and review us and make us feel like number one. And And to those of you listening on YouTube, don't forget to be like Chad and give us that good thumbs up. We really appreciate it. On the next episode of the podcast, we'll be covering anime episodes 215. So if you're following along, if you're just watching right in order, that means we are skipping 2 filler episodes. We're skipping 213 and 214. Those are not canon. We're not going to cover them. I also don't care about Don Kanoji. So we're going to skip ahead to episode 215, Defend Karakura Town, Entire Appearance of the Shinigami. 216, Elite, the 4 Shinigami. And 217, Beautiful Little Devil Charlotte. We'll see you souls then. Till next time, bye!